All right, let's continue with this autopsy, as unpleasant as it might be. This one, just came right from the homework, so I was a little surprised so many people missed this one. So let's talk about it. Notice the price here. The price is $9.20, and the shutdown price is $10.65. So price is less than average variable cost. So the quantity that the firm's going to produce is zero. That's the key to this problem. And the profits are going to be the negative of your total fixed costs. And how do I find those? Well, notice that at output of 32,000, your average fixed cost is 26 minus 1065. I've got the answer in the answer key, but basically you multiply the loss of your total fixed cost is equal to the negative of your fixed costs, and that's going to be 32,000 times 26 minus 1065. What's that going to be? It's going to be $15.35. Anyway, the precise numbers in the answer key. That's how you do it. I'm more interested in how you know how you do it than that you can use your calculator. All right, this one, there's another one straight out of the homework. So I don't know if people aren't doing the homework. Those should be easy points. Not that they're easy questions, but you save them and you ask questions of me. You come to the office. We've had quite a crowd, especially the week the homework's due. That's what you're expected to do. So if you have to email and get a screencast because you can't come into the office, that's fine too. But don't just leave a homework question not understood. Anyway, we noticed that Betty Barnum has talents that earn the firm that hires her an extra $0.5 million, 500,000. So her salary is going to be the $300,000 that normal advertising execs make, plus the rent that accrues to her talents. That's another $500,000. So her salary is equal to $300,000 plus $500,000, and that's $800,000. And then what percentage share will be? We'll call that. Actually, let's call it small r. Will be 500,000 out of 800,000 is rent, and so we take that proportion with our calculator and multiply it by 100, and whatever 5/8 times 100 is, that's your answer, and that's in the answer key. Trying to remember, 62.5%, I believe. All right. And then this last one was a hard one. And again, we got a lot of questions about the similar problem in the homework. And don't give up on those until you really understand it. So we have this demand curve. The idea here is the government's buying in the international market for 10. And we know the quantity demanded there would be 20 million. So buying internationally at 10 and then turning around and selling for 7 at home. And at the quantity demanded there is going to be at 23 million. So how much must the government pay? Well, the government buys at 10 and sells at 7. So the net out-of-pocket cost is $3 per bushel times 23 million. So you get 69 million is what the government pays for this subsidy. Some of you answered 230 million. And that's I didn't take any points off, but the problem works much better if you use the net subsidy amount. If this shows up on the final, I'll try to be more clear about that. But this again, I took the wording right from the homework problem, so this should have been very familiar. What is the change in consumer surplus? There we take the change in consumer surplus. That's this little, was that a rhombus? This thing here. Notice it's a rectangle, 3 by 20 rectangle, and a 3 by 3 triangle. So the CS, the change in CS, that's Greek letter delta, change in CS, is going to be 3 times 20 million plus 1/2 times 3 times 3 million. And that's 64.5 million. And then how much total surplus is lost, we know, I'm going to change my color. There's a couple ways to do it. You know it's this triangle. You can take the area of that triangle directly, or you can subtract the gain, you can take the gain of the policy, the 64.5 million in increased consumer surplus, and subtract off what the policy costs, 69 million, and you get negative 4.5 million. Either way you do it. And then as far as what alternative policies here, there's a lot of ways to answer that. The one problem with this policy is that it subsidizes soybean, tofu consumption for everybody, rich and poor alike. So a policy that was targeted at the poor would be less inefficient, whatever that subsidy may be. Just makes tofu cheap for the poor. Like the government cheese programs in the U.S. But you could say improve the education that's available to the poor. You could say just about anything. A tax cut that's targeted to the poor. You could offer free higher education, or even just to the poor. Healthcare to the poor. Anyway, there's a whole wide range of options. Any of those things would cost society a lot less money and would bring a lot more help to the poor, the people you're trying to help.